Welcome everybody to the Xbox Design Lab. Here 10 more of my very own custom designs. First up, we got Psychonauts 2. We're going with that mineral blue. This is a nice dark turquoisey kind of color. And then on the back, we're throwing in the electric volt green, a very lime green here. As you can see, we're pulling those from the logo, the Psychonauts 2 logo. And then with the goggles the dude's wearing, the purple goggles, we're throwing that onto the bumpers with that regal purple color there up top. It matches the goggles up top on his head too, and we have the glacier blue on the triggers. It really pulls that green and that blue together there in a nice bright blue color with the matching electric volt of the back on the front D-pad there. And then we're going to darken out the thumbsticks here. There's a little bit of darkness to Psychonauts 2, so we're going to get that darkness with the black there on the lettering of the buttons as well as those thumbsticks there. So we're going with that black on gray for the buttons, the X, Y, and B buttons, as well as the A button and the select, the share buttons. We're going to do the same to match the X, Y, B, and A buttons there, that black on gray. And then we're going to engrave it Psychonauts 2 to make it official out here. We're going to put that right there on the bottom middle of the front, and look at what we have here. Psychonauts 2, man. It's looking good. Purple, blue, green. It all comes together nicely with that black as well. Next up, we got a Fallout controller. This was suggested by a couple of viewers, so I'm going with a Vault Tech design here with that blue. This is the shock blue. You're going to be shocked at how good this comes together, if I do say so myself. At the end of this, stay tuned. Look at this. We got the lightning yellow with the shock blue. This thing is electric out here. This is looking good, man. We got the white as well. So we got the Vault Tech Pip-Boy blue and yellow and white out here. And we're also going to do the same on the front here with the D-pad. We're going to throw that yellow onto that blue and also put some white as well on the front, but not too much white, so we're going to throw more yellow in on the thumbsticks there. And for the A, B, X, Y buttons, we're going to leave those white with the gray lettering, and then we're going to move on to the view, menu, and share buttons as they're called, and we're going to leave those as gray on white as well. So you got a little bit of the white with the yellow and the blue. That's all you need for Vault Tech. Now we just need to engrave it to make it the true Vault Tech brand, and it looks like it came right off the assembly line of Vault Tech. There you have it, guys. A Fallout controller right there. $9.99 for the engraving. It's going to be a total of $79.98. Most all of these controllers you see in this video are going to end up being $79.98, if not every single one of them. Next up, we got Saints Row. This game, there's a reboot that was just announced at Gamescom, and this controller here, it would be great for the reboot, but this is also maybe going to be more of a throwback. I'm seeing some purple in the reboot as well, so maybe the, whatever they call it, the 3rd Street Saints or something like that, the Purple Gang, they might be making a return here in this reboot, so this will work whether you're going for a throwback Saints Row look or a new reboot look as well. So, you know, like I said, you got to go with that purple there with that silver. You see that a lot with the most recent Saints Rows that were released. That silver goes nice with that purple. And then we're going to bring in some of that robot white as well, kind of more of a silvery kind of white, it looks like. That matches the face buttons pretty well there. And what we're going to do with those is keep those gray on white there. That'll match the thumbsticks and also the D-pad. Now the view, menu, and share buttons, we're going to darken those out a little bit. You know what? We're going to make it a little bit darker. There's too much white on that front there without making those black on gray. It matches the Xbox button up there as well very nicely. So there you have it. This is the Saints Row controller. The reboot is just called Saints Row. There's no number, nothing else after it. So there you have it, just like the engraving. Now we're going to have a fun time here with a Halloween themed controller. Alright, is it going to be a trick, or is it going to be a treat, or both? Let's find out. First, we got to get that zest orange on there like a big pumpkin out here, with the back being black. So you got to get that classic black and orange if you're doing anything Halloween time. So this is inspired by those old decorations your grandma would put up and what have you. So we're going to throw some other colors in here as well, but we're going to match the back with the bumpers there with that black color. And then this is where things get tasty. We're throwing on some yellow. It looks like a tip of a candy corn there. Look at that. That looks delicious out here. Or maybe the eyes of a lit up jack-o'-lantern. And now we're going to match that black on the front there with a big old black hole there. It looks like you're staring into a bat cave or something. And now we're going to add some electric volt green, like green slime or something that a witch is cooking up in her cauldron, something just putrid out here. And we're also going to have have the buttons changed as well. We're going with that black on gray, just like a tombstone, just like a graveyard out here with those buttons. So that's what that represents. A little bit of this, a little bit of that from Halloween time. It all comes together nicely, and we're going to engrave that as well. Halloween or Happy Halloween. I'm just putting Halloween on there so we don't get confused, but I don't think you would by the looks of this controller here. So there you have it. Halloween time it is, and this is a great controller to play your horror games with or what have you during the Halloween season. So enjoy that. This is going to be the GameStop controller. So whether you love them or you hate them, the stores are always there. Almost on every block you got a GameStop in it. If you've never been into one, I'm surprised, because it's a big part of a gamer's upbringing until you realize, you know what, you don't really need those stores much no more with everything online and what have you. You know, they're always there and always a part of the gaming landscape. So we got to pay homage, we got to pay respect to one of the biggest and only game stores. We got mom and pops out there too, but the most famous one is GameStop. So we're going to get that classic black, white, and red going on here in a scheme that comes together nicely, whether you're a fan of the stores or not. Just take that engraving off and you still got a very beautiful controller out here. Black, red, and white. Great color scheme there. So we're going to get the white on the black buttons there. These are very easy to read, and I like that a lot. They pop out nice there. And what I like to do on the share buttons is match that black with the background of the other buttons instead of leaving it gray on white. It really pops more, and it pops not as much but almost as much as that white on black there. So this thing is looking good, if I do say so myself. I might need to go down there to GameStop and sell this thing out of there. I mean, they need something like that. So now we got Indiana Jones. This is a Harrison Ford inspired design. There's a game that is being made by Todd Howard of Bethesda. He's taking the reins there, or the whip if you will, and he's going to put together an Indiana Jones game. Now I hope it's good. I hope it's cutting edge. I hope it's not just another cookie cutter Uncharted clone or something like that. I think though, with Todd Howard behind the wheel or cracking the whip like Indiana Jones does, that it might be something special out here. So I got my eye on it, but I'm not getting my hopes up too high. But hey, if the game ain't good, at least you got the movies and this controller to enjoy it with. So here we have the kind of like the tan with the orange and the yellow of the logo, and then a little bit of military green that kind of looks like a darker brown or something like that to really play into the Indiana Jones attire that he wears in the movies, and he'll probably wear in the games as well. So that comes together good with the gray buttons as well, and we're gonna engrave that Indiana Jones. Look at that. This is a treasure to behold right here. Indiana Jones needs to get his hands on this. This thing is looking good. So next up we got Forza Horizon 5. They came out with their controller and they got real fancy with it, but if you want something a little bit different, then you might want to go with this design here. You can't get this anywhere else but your own Controller Sports. Copy this design and you'll have a custom Rusty Pfluger design, Controller Sports design here. We do the best we can with what we're working with here. Alright, so you got to get that white with the pink and orange. Also, they use a lot of black in Forza Horizon as well, so we're going to get all those working together here to really make a nice little design here inspired by the game. As you can see here, that orange and the pink comes together nice with the white and the black. But it's a lot about balance too, not having too much of one thing, just enough of another thing. You don't want that orange overwhelming that pink, and you don't want the pink overwhelming the orange, or the black versus the white and everything else like that. Next thing you know, you got problems on your hands. So we got to engrave it. Forza Horizon 5. There you have it. They made 5 of these games already. Good lord. You know, it's about time they had a special controller made by yours truly. There you have it. So it's got a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and it's looking sweet out here. Now, this is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. This was suggested by a viewer. I didn't know what it was. Bizarre Adventure. The only Bizarre Adventures I know about is when I go down to the Walmart and something pops off. Alright, whether it be a fight or, you know, someone's wheelchair wheel or something. It's always an adventure out there. You know, I know about that, but I got a lot to learn about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. But I do know that the logo is red, pink, light pink, and white. So I can can do that. I know enough to throw together a good color scheme for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. We got a lot of pink with some red, and we're leaving some white in as well. Like I said with the last controller, you don't want too much white. That can be a problem if you got too much white. Take my word for it, okay? So you want a little more diversity out there in your colors. We're going to leave the white buttons there, white on gray, and the view, menu, and share buttons white as well. So that leaves about the same amount of white as we have on the back. On the front, it's an equal distribution of the colors that make up JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I think it looks cool, man. It's unique, just like what the show looks like. Now, I can't fit the whole engraving on there. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure won't fit. So, you know what? This is JoJo's. Whoever that is, this controller belongs to them. And it could belong to you for $79.98. Check it out there. Now, we've got Sea of Thieves. This game is one of my favorite Xbox exclusive games. Rare is back here, and they're back with Sea of Thieves. They're doing things right over there. So I'm going to try to do them right by making a nice looking controller for them. We're going with that turquoise on the body, and on the back we're going with like a what I think is a wood kind of color. So we got that on the back. We got some green that represents the land and the grass and the bright colors of the blue skies, green grass that we have out there in Sea of Thieves. Some of the water is so beautiful in this game. We got the glacier blue that comes together with that deeper turquoise there to really make it look like the beautiful water you see in the game, with those wooden ships as well. And then here we have like what almost looks like the anchor wheel on the D-pad. We got that desert tan on that, and then we're bringing the thumbsticks back like the waves that are crashing around your ship, and then we're going to darken it out with black on gray, almost like the storms that roll into the game as well. And we're going to match that with the share buttons, and I think it really represents well everything that you see in Sea of Thieves. You got your water, you got your land, you got your wooden ships, and we're going to add an engraving to it as well. Sea of Thieves, man. There you have it. If there's any game that deserves its own controller, it's the wonderful game that is Sea of Thieves. Highly recommend it. Check it out. And you can play it with this controller as well for the ultimate Sea of Thieves experience. Enjoy that, guys. Now, last but not least, we got 12 minutes. This was another free game on Xbox Game Pass if you pay for the service. So I guess it's not completely free, but you get what I'm getting at here. This comes to Xbox Game Pass. It was a fun little game, man. I played a little bit of it. I'm still playing it as well, but I think it deserves some recognition here, and it deserves its own controller. I like what they're doing. They're trying something different. It ain't cookie cutter, and this controller here ain't going to be cookie cutter neither. So we're going all black on the front and the back with some red bumpers. So mostly black is the key to making a 12 minutes controller with just little accents of red and white, just like the logo. So we're going to add some red on the front there, like the little keyhole that you saw on the logo. Big old open red keyhole. So that kind of looks very similar to the D-pad. We're going to black out the thumbsticks and then leave a little bit of white there on these buttons. So let's do that here on the X, Y, B, and A with the white letters on the back background. That leaves just a little bit of that white there like you see in the 12-minute letters of the logo. And then you match that with the black background, white symbols of the share button, and then engrave that 12 minutes. There you have it. Doesn't even take 12 minutes to put together, and you can have this for $79.98. Enjoy it, guys. These are 10 of my custom designs. If you want to see anything else, let me know in the comments below. In the next video, it might make it on the list. Till next time, this has been Rusty Pfluger. Rusty Pfluger, over and out.